Hello guys, Adrian calling, Infinity Wholesale Mortgages, and today I want to bring one of our very special guests, Richard Lyro. He is a loan originator working for Infinity Wholesale Mortgages. He also is a veteran, and so I think that he has so many valuable stories, and I would like our audience to get to know Richard Lyro.
Well, thanks, Adrian. Well, first off, your mistake was giving me a mic. All right, never do
Oh no.
that. But my story is kind of it's a long story because I'm gray, which means I'm old. All right, but I started out working for Uncle Sam. I started out in the Air Force and then went over into the Army, and I served during the first Gulf War, and that was an experience. Had a son during the war and had a higher calling to be a daddy, and left the military, but I miss it every day. The sense of camaraderie, the sense of accomplishment, the sense of focus is just something that the military brings to the table that's very hard to find in the civilian world. But after I left Uncle Sam, I went to work in commercial audio video, cable companies, AV companies. I've led teams of very talented individuals and have helped build some very strong businesses over time. But literally about 6 months ago, I just kind of looked at my wife and I said, "Look," I said, "I'm tired. It's time for a new chapter for Richard. And I want to be able to do something where I really feel like I can give back." And when you're working in the AV business and things go wrong, the first thing you want to tell somebody is read a book.
Exactly.
This is not a big deal. Okay, this is not a problem. But I have family that's been obviously that has been in the mortgage business for
Yes.
quite some time, and um, and and every time we would talk, I was just amazed at the lives that she was able to change.
Yes.
And I look at that and I thought, that's what I want to do. And so we retooled, the family retooled, we figured things out, and I've jumped into this business, and quite frankly, I think things are going pretty good. I've had a lot of motion in a quick period of time, and I've learned an awful lot, and have helped some real interesting families. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, can I tell you a story?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this one family that we were working with, and I can't use the names because I don't think that's right. I don't think I can do
No,
that.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
But
let's say Jim and
yeah, Jim and Jean.
there you go.
So they were living in a third-story apartment with their 9-year-old son, who's a little anxious, and
Yes.
so 900 square foot apartment with a 9-year-old. Oh my God! All right, and when COVID hit, Jim was he's making great money, like 170,000 a year, working as an inspector. And the fact of the matter is, when COVID hit, things got a little tight, and it impacted him like it did everybody else. And the company moved him at the same time.
Oof.
And when they did that, it really hurt his credit. And so Jim, now living in a 900 square foot apartment, with an apartment complex that doesn't have kids. I mean, there's nobody for his kids to grow up with, right? And so they wanted a home. But everybody kept telling him no, 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 because his credit score wasn't exactly where you'd want it to be. Okay.
Of course.
And so
And by the way, Richard,
Yeah.
for the audience,
Yeah.
what was the FICO?
he was at a 587.
There you go.
And today nobody wants to talk to you unless you're at a 640. There are
Correct.
some people that'll talk at 620, but 580, what are you talking about?
Correct.
I mean, we just don't want that, right? But so he went through this long line of people saying no, 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 no. Now he's a fellow vet, and we hit it off like that, just like that. And I dug into it, and we literally got on the phone and made a ton of calls. I mean, you helped me with that.
Yeah, of course.
And we made a bunch of calls to a bunch of different lenders and found a lender that would work with us based upon the story
Yes.
we told. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't understand is this business is about math. Yeah, but there's a story behind it. And when you have the ability to tell that story and to bring the personal connection that people have and help them understand. I remember when we were looking to close, we had a problem with the close date sliding, right?
Yes.
And I remember telling the underwriters and the lender, I said, look, they want to put a bow on the backyard swing set for their son's birthday. And man, it was incredible the things that happened. Now as we've talked, most LOs won't go personal.
Correct.
All right, but we, by going personal, not only did we find a lender, but we made things happen that nobody else would. And today they're enjoying their waterside home. He's going to put in a dock. His son is playing in the backyard. His son's already made friends with other kids in the neighborhood. It doesn't get better than that. Now, in the cable business and in the AV business, I had a lot of success and a lot of satisfaction. But hard to find something, like that. When I was at the closing, I looked at the son, and I said, "So now what?" And he looks at me and he says, "I'm going to go play in my backyard." Where else can you go to do that? So I'm very, very pleased to be here. Very pleased.
And remember when you started working with us,
Yeah.
and I mentioned this business is addictive.
It
Remember
is.
I told you.
Yeah.
And it is because it is hard, right? It is hard. They think that is easy, but we gotta find the right lender, structure the loan correctly, then deal with the client, make sure that they are they can stay positive, because there is a lot of things happening that could maybe make the loan not close. And so we gotta deal with making sure that everybody is positive and everybody is going through the process. But then you close, you change those lives, and that makes a big difference, right?
It really does. And seeing how you've impacted people's lives and how I've been able to impact people's lives is really a game changer. And what's interesting, it's almost a little sad in our business. And I talk to realtors, I talk to other loan originators, I talk to people working at banks, I talk to all kinds of people, right? And it's amazing to me how transactional people are in this business.
Yes.
And not understanding that the real reason why we're in this business is to help change lives.
Yes.
And when we can give that little bit of extra effort, and we can go that extra mile and help do that digging that no one else would, I think that makes a huge difference.
Now, what would you say that gives you the ability to be able to find solutions and like getting a 580 loan close on a 80,000 home? Not that simple.
Right.
So would you say that all of your background has allowed you to be very persistent and find a way and make it happen, and don't take a no for an answer?
Well, there's there's two answers to that. All right, the first answer is I get up out of my chair.
Yes.
I walk out my office and I walk into your office. And man, things happen. I mean, a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge that you have in this industry, I think, is phenomenal. And being able to tap into that anytime I need makes a huge, huge difference. But I also think it's the willingness and desire to go that extra mile. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that just say, well, 580, why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's a waste of my time. I'm going to spend my time up here with people in the 680s and the 700s who are going to click, click, click and go. And that's great, and we want that business, and we love that business. But the difference is what we're able to do is we're able to do some weird things that others won't, because we're willing to dig.
Correct.
We're willing to fight and find that right lender. There are tremendous amount of loan products out there,
Yes.
and there are tremendous amount of lenders. And understanding, that the lenders need to lend,
Yes.
and playing to that, and then playing them off against each other, I think makes us very powerful.
Yes.
And that's what you taught me.
And by the way, guys, being a loan originator or loan officer, there is so many names that we get. It's not just taking an application and submitting it on the writing.
No.
It is, in our case, of course, is structuring the loan, understanding the situation of the client. Every client has a different scenario, different credit, different background, different, not only the FICO score, but the credit history too.
Right.
I mean, so we have to find the right product. And by the way, we work in a broker mode. Is not that we work with a big bank that has all these structures and all these additional rules to the bare rules of the regulators of
Right.
mortgages. No, we actually can look into wholesale lenders that only deal with brokers, and of course their pricing is better and is more competitive because they have less overhead, and so that allows us to structure the loan, to find the right product, to find the right lender, to find a way to make it happen.
Right.
Nothing, of course, illegal or crazy, but it just, like you said, digging and finding the right product and the right lender.
Yeah, I remember when you took that chance on me the first time, and we sat down and we talked, and one of the things that you told me was that no loan is ever the same. And I remember thinking, man, that guy's a little crazy. How can that? It's math. It's math. How can math is always and I have been shocked to learn that none of them
No.
are the same. And what's interesting, so there are times, I'll full disclosure, I'll be up at 2 a.m. in the morning trying to figure out what's going on with this. All right, and one of the things that I'll think about is how can this not be the same loan after loan? And the answer I realize is it is if you're working for a bank. It is if you're not looking for
Yeah, it's
solutions.
just numbers.
Yeah, it's just numbers. But what really differentiates us is the willingness to understand that every borrower is unique, and adapting to that borrower really is kind of our superpower.
Yes.
And it's done some amazing things.
And I think that the modality of a broker instead of a big bank that has everything in it
Right.
is that we are a small business. We're a small business. We work in the community for the community. So it's way more personalized, more. We have a way to connect. Let's put it that way. I work in a big bank for years, almost a decade, and it's an amazing experience working for a big bank. Allows you to have this structure so that you can run your business in the right way. But at the same time, there is really not much room for a custom, personalized experience for the client,
Right.
because it's black and white. This is what you do. This is what you say. This is how you say it, and so I think that makes a big difference. But I wanted to take, I want to take the opportunity now to also add that it is amazing. Like for the ones seeing this, Richard, you changed career completely. Like from working in cable business in a different industry, and going in mortgages with in crazy time like these ones right now, is remarkable. And the fact that you are performing and doing very well and helping many clients, I think that this is a strong statement, a big message for those that say, oh, it's too late for me, or oh no, I have children, or no, I am old, or oh, I am too young. Excuses. And so what I want to say is I think that's a strong message that people watching us can really see, that someone willing to put everything on the table, burn bridges,
Right.
so that you have no choice, and make it happen, and be impactful on the lives of your clients. I think it's remarkable, and
Thank
we are very proud that you are part of our team.
Well, I'm very happy to be here.
And also, given that you are, you're a veteran, VA loans. I mean, clear example. This client Jim wanted a VA loan because he was a veteran as well.
Right.
Sometimes VA loans are amazing. Don't get me wrong. One of the best loans that you can have.
Right.
But sometimes your situation doesn't allow you to have a VA loan. But having an FHA loan or conventional loan, I mean, at the end, the idea is that you become a homeowner.
Right. You get in.
You're not burning just
Right.
your cash every month for years, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, and if you're renting, you're still paying a mortgage, just
Correct.
not yours.
Correct. Correct.
So,
Correct.
why would you?
So whether the market is up or down, and of course, I mean, timing sometimes can be important for certain clients under certain circumstances, but for the vast majority, wanting to own their own home, their first house, and you're not planning to sell it in 3 months or 6 months, owning is better than renting.
Absolutely.
Whether the rates are high or low, or the price houses are high or low, owning your property gives you many, many advantages.
Well, I mean, if you look at just in where we're at in Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco County area, in general, year over year, homes are appreciating at 22%.
Yes.
I don't know where else you could go and put your money to get that kind of return.
No, not many places. And you know, let me add to that. The 22% has happened year after year since the COVID-19. So right now the things are shifting a little bit. But statistically, we go back 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and we see the graph. The growth of the value of properties in Florida and in Tampa Bay area has been 7, 8, 12% year after year. And so even though maybe prices will adjust in certain areas because the neighbor's house was sold for, let's say, 20% over the rest of the houses, but now people are not willing to pay that extra 20%, and the houses are selling for a little bit less.
Right.
That doesn't mean that the whole area is going down in
Right.
price.
Right.
And again, if you're planning to buy a house for as your primary residence for a year, 2 years, 3 years to live there, it makes more sense than taking the risk of keep paying rent, and also the rent is going up as well.
Yeah.
So it's
I know many people who have had rate increases in their rent because housing in this market is I mean, it's becoming easier to find, but it's been hard to find for a long time. And you know, the rent payments are more than mortgage payments.
Yes.
Which is just insane. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, even if you were only going to be here for a year, all right, by buying a home, when you go to sell that home, the equity you will have earned will have paid it off. I mean, you know, and you compare the rental equation with the ownership equation, and the two, there's just no comparison.
correct.
I mean, if you can get in a home, you need to get in a home.
Yes, yes. So I would say planning is extremely important, right?
Yep,
Planning.
absolutely.
So if you don't know where to start, well, of course, contact your loan originator.
No, call us.
Contact Richard, contact me. But at least we give you an idea of what you need to do,
Right.
Sometimes looking at your Credit Karma and visualizing a home is not going to get into the house.
Right.
You need to really understand what else is needed, and we'll talk about it in different episodes.
And it's no commitment. I mean, that's what I think what people have got to understand is we're here first. I mean, obviously this is a business. I get it. But the fact is that I believe that we're here for a higher calling, which is to help people. Now, we get paid to help people. I mean, got to put food on the table, right? But the fact of the matter is that we're here to help.
Yes.
And that doesn't, when calling us, there's no financial commitment. There's no emotional or moral commitment. The fact of the matter is we will help you identify what you need to do, whether you stay with us or not. But you want to because we're really good.
Correct. Of course.
But the fact of the matter is that we can help you figure out what that path really looks like.
Yes. So, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna our goal is to keep educating our community about, of course, owning a property, investing in real estate, how you can start buying a house and then buy your second home that is a little better than the first one, and
and can I add
yes,
also
please.
just and if you're a vet and you're looking to buy your first home, I mean, I was a vet buying my first home at one point in time, and that was a scary, confusing proposition. I mean, you're trained and ready to go and take that hill or fly that plane or get on that ship or whatever it is your background is, but getting that home is just a really daunting process. I can make it simple for you. All right, I've been there. I'm helping vets, and just give me a call and let's have a talk. Vet to vet.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.